And we are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and tonight we are going to talk about 49ers news and updates. There's some injuries we haven't talked about that you guys probably know about that we're going to cover. We're going to jump into CMC, Deebo, watch a video of Larry Krueger that I actually really liked, and I agree with most of it. So that's why we're going to jump into it and watch it. I just think he dissected it really well, and it was something I agreed with 110%. And he would say it better than I would in that situation. So we're going to watch that, pause it in between the segments, and then give our opinions. Because like I said, there's things that he said in there that I agree with 110% that I really want to address. Daniel Jones, apparently, one of Daniel Jones' destination is the 49ers. So, I mean, all right, okay. And then also James Houston has been cut from the Lions. We'll talk about that too as well. Maybe we should pick him up. And then the injuries, of course, will be the first thing that we jump into because, injuries are important and we want to get those out of the way. So get all our feelings about that because injuries is the story of the San Francisco 49ers. Pop in the house! Oh, my God. What's with that's hella long. Holy shit. It got bigger. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Look at that. It got bigger. Am I tripping? Man, I'm stoned. I must be stoned. And they changed some stuff. Strawberry in the house. I don't remember what the hell. That's crazy. Okay. Comments. What's up, guys? What's up? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope your Tuesday's good. I'm sure you guys heard all the news about the injuries. So hope you're feeling okay. Totally looks bigger. They changed it. Okay. I'm not tripping too hard. The edibles are kicking in right as the show started. So great timing or bad timing. Depends upon how you look at it. What's up, Landon in the house? I am high. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. How are you, man? How are you? Welcome. All right. So let's get this motherfucker going. All right. Aaron Banks, Jordan Elliott are in concussion protocol. I forgot to say, we're going to talk about injuries right now. Aaron Banks, Jordan Elliott in concussion protocol. So, all right, is there like a league thing going on where they're telling each other, hey, let's go ahead and just punch or injure or somehow give concussions to the 49ers trenches players? Because there's Jacob Cowan with a concussion. Aaron Banks, I think this is like his second concussion. I could be tripping this year. Jordan Elliott's also in concussion. So apparently when we played the Packers, that entire D-line and offensive line was just punching Jordan Elliott in the back of the head, and so is Aaron Banks apparently. Because what the fuck? 2 concussions in the trenches, man. Come on, that's some bullshit. Yeah, so there's that. That's a huge blow because Aaron Banks, yeah, he's not the best offensive lineman, but he's still our best left guard that we got behind Pooney. Even though Pooney had a really bad game last week, aside from that, he's been fantastic, practically an all-pro. Banks, though, is like our third best offensive lineman behind Trent Williams, and Banks is not that great. He's really not that great. So that's why it's gonna be a huge blow. Jordan Elliott, same thing. We don't have much depth right now for the D tackle with Javon Hargrave out there, and the talent is either a rookie or a guy who's a fringe depth piece. You know what I mean? And Kevin Givens may come back this week. This is a whole ordeal. It's huge. These 2 players being out, it kind of sucks. We got a couple comments. Josh in the house. Good to see you. I am high. Thank you for asking. We have to play the Bills. We do, man. We do. And we can. We could beat them. We could do it. We might get Greenlaw back. I think it should be an automatic rule that all offensive linemen should wear double helmets at all times. Yeah, that's what they need. That's definitely for 49ers. Yeah. 110%. Evan Anderson, since he's got the cap, he knows what's up. He knows what this D-line is. Josh Woolley. Already said idea. That's right. Kansas City Chiefs are bad. I don't know if they're bad. Burford has subbed in for Banks this year and done well at left guard, better than he was at right guard. Well, definitely. If he's better left guard, do it. He wasn't very good. The standard of him being at right guard wasn't very high. Just saying. We're showing some love. That's what I like to see. But Burford can come in and play really good at left guard. That's great. I actually kind of forgot about Burford because I know that I was just about to talk about Feliciano because Feliciano is going to be out for the rest of the year. His knee injury is just that bad. He's gone. He's done. So I was actually just thinking about the depth. I completely forgot about Burford. Burford had an excellent rookie year, had some some downs, of course, but his sophomore slump was quite a sophomore slump. It was pretty bad. And maybe he's out of that sophomore slump, and maybe now he can perform and play really good. I'm pretty sure it was his sophomore last year. And hopefully he can perform at left guard. That's the best option we got. Because outside of that, Nick Zakel's not going to do it. He's still trash. Maybe get Drake Nugent in there. That'd be nice for Drake Brendel. There's still some offensive linemen that can play in the left guard position, but I mean, Burford is probably the only one that I'm confident in that can play that left guard spot. Everyone else is just like the 160th best offensive lineman, pretty much. The Bills are going to give us all they got. No, 110%, man, 110%. They're going to. Man, they don't even have to give it all they got because honestly, like it's just our defense is pretty bad. It's pretty depleted. Our offensive line is looking pretty rough if Aaron Banks is out. Hopefully Burford can perform. Hopefully that's a thing. What else? Greenlaw might be back, so that'll be great. I mean, we'll talk about the Bills later at probably another day, but like 110%, man, they're probably gonna give it all they got. They let the Panthers keep up with them. I know, but that happens. Sometimes bad teams play good against good teams. It just happens. The Chiefs do this every single year. Every year they'll have a bad team beat them. They had the Raiders last year beat them on Christmas Day, right? And they won the Super Bowl. And I think the year before that, they lost to the Colts or something. So it's just what Chiefs do. Chiefs are just doing what the Chiefs always do, which is lose a game to a very, very trash team, or in this case, lose the Panthers, who are a trash team, very close. We're in big trouble. I mean, I don't know. I got belief, dude. I know this could be a trap game for the Bills. The Bills could overthink it. They can look at the 49ers. They look destroyed. We still have Brock Purdy. We have Kyle Shanahan. Maybe get Nick Bosa out. Probably not. We'll just keep talking about the injury bug. But I don't know, man. This could be a trap game for them. They could go in this way too confident, and we could take advantage of that. I don't know. I got to believe, man. I believe. Banks was awful on Sunday. Him and Brendel were both awful. Jalen Moore was the highest grade. I heard about that in PFF. I heard about that. That was actually pretty good. That's good news. I like hearing that. All right, because my concern was Jalen Moore, and if he can perform, I'll take it. Purdy's going to have to play really well. Yes, he is. He's going to have to play really well. I mean, if he wins this game against the Bills, dude, honestly, if he scores 20-plus points against this Bills team, I think he deserves a lot of love for that. Jay Vahalo, what's up, man? Win or lose, Niners for life. Bang, bang, not a game. 110%, brother, 110%. No matter who we play, they will not take us lightly. Oh, my God. I kind of hope they do. I kind of hope they do take us lightly. So you can take advantage of that. Oh, my God. Oh. Want to beat Josh out on baby. I don't know what that means. But if it's a good thing, awesome. I don't think any team out there will look at us as a trap game. Well, a trap game is supposed to be against a team that's either playing very badly or a team that's bad, right? And you lose to that team. So technically, you never ever look at a game as like any game where there's a good team playing a bad team can become a trap game. So I disagree with that. I think it can become a trap game if they're looking at the 49ers, especially with how the media is talking about the 49ers right now. They could easily take us lightly. We could take advantage of that. This could be a trap game. This could be a trap game for them. I have to disagree with that. We also have to use Jordan Mason because right now Mason is running the ball better than CMC. 110% right now. CMC is like, 3.5 yards to carry. Jordan Mason's got like 5.9. Like he's might as well be 6 yards to carry. And to do him dirty like that because he's got like 700 something yards right now, he just needs a couple games to start to get 1,000 yards, man. You're also kind of taking a shit on Jordan Mason trying to force CMC out there. Like, if you're going to shit on Jordan Mason, take away from his production, take away from his career, you might as well, like you don't want to do both things here. Like, you might as well, like, put him out there. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, don't take a shit on him like that. He deserves to get 1,000 yards. He deserves to be out there in front of CMC, and just forcing the issue with CMC is just crazy. If CMC was performing, then I totally understand. As long as CMC was performing, then I could see why you were like, okay, take Mason out because CMC is going to be CMC, but he's not, right? So it's just weird to take a shit on him, and then also for CMC not to be that guy. It's just, I don't know. If I was Jordan Mason, I wouldn't feel very good right now. I wouldn't feel very good. I wouldn't blame him. But from what I've seen about Jordan Mason, he's pretty he seems like a team effort guy. But I don't think they look at us that way this year. We'll see. Yeah, I know CMC just came back from injury, but he's looked not like himself. No, 3 games, man, to get back. I thought last game he might be able to come back, but no, he just doesn't have that burst, right? You'll see, in the game, you'll see the offensive line do their thing, and then you'll see a hole. And usually, once I see the hole, McCaffrey's already hitting that hole, right? That wasn't happening. It was just his burst, his decision, there's a little bit of he stops just a little bit. He stutters a little bit, right? So, yeah, I mean, he's not the same. He's just not in the passing game. He looks all right. He's catching some balls, making some plays. But in the run game, though, he's not that guy. He does not have that burst. Yeah, he does not have that burst. It's just not there. And there's hesitation as well. It's pretty bad. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back to the rest of the injuries real quick. Got away from that. Green is day-to-day with the neck injury. That's good news. Usually when something's day-to-day, they're probably going to play that week, which is great. It's fantastic. And if he misses that in this game, it would be really big because we need this W. Fowles is day-to-day with a knee injury, which is not a huge loss because Fowles really isn't that big of a player. In my eyes, he might as well be D. Winters or Bethune for that matter. There is no news on Bosa and Trent. That's sad, which means potentially they're not going to play this Sunday. Still no news on it. We probably won't know anything until Wednesday when Kyle Shanahan has his press conference. It's probably we're not going to know anything until then. Jacob Cowling is still in concussion protocol. Hope he gets well. Obviously, it's a serious one. I hope he recovers. Thank God if with Jordan Elliott having the concussion right now and potentially not playing, because usually when you get a concussion and it floods into the next days on the injury report, usually they don't play that week. And so if Jordan Elliott's not going to play, we might get Kevin Givens back, which would be awesome because he's been out a few weeks now. Might as well have been on IR at this point. But, yeah, Kevin Givens is set to return. That'd be a huge win for us just because Jordan Elliott's most likely going to be out. And obviously, as you know, John Hargrave is out as well. So, injuries, man, injuries. It's just bad. Purdy's back as well. I forgot to tell you guys that. Purdy is going to be back. That's fantastic. It was just not a basic, but it was just a soreness. He's back. And then Greenlaw, he should be back this Wednesday. There's no guarantees yet, but that's when they'll open up the practice window from him on IR. 21 days. Probably put him out there, see how he does. But, yeah, he should be back on Wednesday. Speaking of Greenlaw, we need to understand, just like with every other player, there needs to be that comeback time. There needs to be that time where he, gets back into motion and gets into game speed. Yeah, he's been with the team most of the time this year, and he's been around practices, etc. But that's not the same as being on the field. So this is going to take a few weeks. All right, and if we go to the playoffs, hopefully that's perfect timing. That's when he becomes elite again. We'll see. Hopefully Greenlaw is the same player. I hope to God, and this would just be just make everything a lot better. If we got Warner back and right from the get against the Buffalo Bills, we get the old Greenlaw back. I mean, that's going to be an absolute game changer. It's going to make the D-line player play better. It's going to make the linebacker. It's going to make Warner play better. It's going to make the DBs play better. Greenlaw is that important. Greenlaw is that good just for his presence alone. That I promise you that D-line's going to play better if Greenlaw's out there. They just do. He has that about him. And if Greenlaw's the same player, that would be a blessing. But realistically, expectations, I don't see him come back into form. Usually especially he hurt his tore his Achilles in February. He's coming back now. Usually you need a whole year for something like that. Man, he might not even be the same player this year, but end up being the same player next year just because how quickly he's coming back from this injury, right? And if he's coming back from an Achilles tear way too soon, he's going to be slow. So there's a lot of hope involved here, guys. There's a lot of low expectations I feel like we need to set for Greenlaw because he is coming back so soon. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully Greenlaw, destroys those expectations, is the same player from the jump. If so, man, that is a generational linebacker. I want you guys to know that. If Greenlaw comes back from this injury, just 9 months out from an Achilles tear, that is insane. That is insane. That is something to appreciate. He's a generational linebacker if he can do that. And honestly, he's capable of being a generational linebacker. But I'm setting my expectations to a certain situation. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting him to not be the same. If we could pull it off against the Buffalo and get Greenlaw, Ward, Bosa, Williams, and if we make the playoffs, get Hargrave back, we can make some. Yeah, there's a lot of things have to go our way, and that's not what's been happening with the season so far. Everything's been going against us, from injuries, scheme, luck. Everything's been going against us, and that needs to change. We need some kind of luck factor to kick in. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There needs to be a lot of things outside of the 49ers' control needs to go our way, and it hasn't been doing that all year. So hopefully this second half of the season, after this Packers game, we get Brock Purdy back, Williams back. I don't think Bosa is going to be back, to be honest with you guys. I really don't. Maybe Williams, because he was questionable at the time, but they knew for a fact Bosa was going to be out that game. And if he injured his hip, for how bad, the way he claimed about how bad he hurt, I said that like twice. Fuck. How bad he hurt his hip and how he described that injury, it sounds to me he's going to be out a couple of weeks. Not IR, right? But if he hurt his other oblique while the other oblique was apparently so bad, it was the worst thing he's ever had to play through. I don't expect Bosa to be out there. I'm not going to lie to you. If Bosa's out there, I'll be happy. But as of right now on a Tuesday, my expectations is he's not out there. We need Greenlaw back before our D turns into mud. It's already on the way, man. It's already liquid shit at this point, dude. It's liquid poop. Little to no fiber. It's supposed to snow on Sunday. Hey, lucky things can happen. Like, yeah, obviously Buffalo has more experience in that, but hey, they're not just susceptible to just not fumble the ball, right? Right? They can still grab it, drop it, and etc. So the snow can still affect them. All right. How about you? I liked playing in the snow. Playing in the snow was awesome. Playing in the rain was dope. I like playing football in the rain. Also, for next year, we need to re-sign Greenlaw. Hey, if he's not the same player, right, I'd say re-sign him for not obviously don't give him top linebacker money, but if you can get him for a good discount, why not? I'd bring him back. Juwan, everybody's got a very slim chance, 49ers chance, just slimmer than a toothpick, though. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there, man. It's getting there. We got to steal a win from the Buffalo Bills, and I think we could do it. Sometimes the Bills plays down to the competition, man. Sometimes they do that. So I know it's a lot of hope, and I know it's a lot of things outside of our control, but that's just reality here, guys. Fred Warner has been really disappointing to me. He hasn't really had an explosive game since Patriots, and he had 4 missed tackles against Packers. Yeah, Warner is not that Greenlaw guy, and that's the one thing I always said about Greenlaw and Warner is that they were Bowman and Willis. Like, one did something specific to the other. One helped the other one play better. I'm not saying Warner is the best linebacker in the league, but if you don't have that guy next to you, you're not as confident, right? And then not to mention, if you feel like the entire defense is on your back, like everything has to rely on you, it's probably getting to him. Like Bose is out, right? This is not a criticism to Ward at all whatsoever. I don't mean this, but Ward's out, right? So he probably feels like he has to carry a lot of the momentum, and Bosa's out. Hargrave was a leader as well. Like, you're missing a lot of leadership there, and Warner's probably just getting worn down. And is that an excuse? No, but I'm just telling you what it's like. I just think that he's the only one out there on defense who has to lead by example, has to go out there and be held to a certain expectation every single game. And maybe it's just wearing him down. I don't know. I could just be babbling, but if the guy next to you as a linebacker can't get it done, man, you feel like you have to play linebacker for both of them, right? And so he's probably, once Greenlaw comes back, I'm sure Warner is going to go off because he's going to no longer think that he has to play both positions or think of his other guy covering for him if he takes a chance on something, because Warner and Greenlaw had that connection. They had that bond, right? Where if one went off something off script, Fred Warner would be there to cover for him, if vice versa. Warner, I just feel like, yeah, he had a great start, but I mean, allowing 2 big comebacks, right? And then struggling in the division, going in last and everything, like his back is breaking, All right. His back is breaking. And I feel bad for Fred. I feel bad for Fred. And I feel like Fred's given us some great things this year. But you're not wrong. It was a very disappointing game because he did have those missed tackles. There were so many missed tackles. Everyone forgot how to tackle. It was crazy. It was almost as if they're telling us, like, hey, we suck, guys. Hey, fans, we suck. I've never seen a team, like, usually in this situation, usually the 49ers that I know, when they're pinned in the corner, they fight back. They make bigger plays in the second half of the stretch of the season. They do better things in the second half. They push back against that adversity. But now they're living up to the reputation of being a bad team. It's such a different look. Even with the injuries, I get that, but how many tackles did we miss? That is insane. I don't care what player you are. How are you missing that many tackles? You could be a great player, you could be a trash player. How is there 15 missed tackles in the first half? How? That is a lot. So whoever's teaching you how to tackle, fire that guy. Whoever is telling you this is how you need to tackle, fire that dude immediately. Because not only does it stop you from they suck at wrapping up. Not only do they suck at getting the angle, they make Patrick Mahomes look like he can truck anyone like he's Derrick Henry. Yes, that is a shot at Mustafa there. Because it's that bad. All right, Mahomes looked like Derrick fucking Henry. So what is going on with the tackling? Like, the only person I feel like that would be immune to whoever's coaching this shit is Greenlaw. I don't know. Greenlaw needs to go out there and be like, hey, guys, this is how you actually do it. Fuck that guy who's teaching you how to tackle. This is how you're supposed to do it. Crazy. Yeah, Campbell is shit. He's ass. He's straight ass, dude. He's garbage. He had one good game, I think. And then after that, he's terrible, dude. He looks so slow. He looks like the Deebo of the defense. Seemed like Campbell's blocking Fred a lot. Does he know that he's on our team? 110%. Should we sit McCaffrey? I think we should. Mason's clearly better than him right now. Our run game is worsened significantly because of it, and Kyle's dumb for starting him over Mason. One in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yes, we need to sit McCaffrey a little bit, give Mason more of the time. Like, nobody, and I feel like McCaffrey's putting himself out there, and the coach, again, I said this before, I feel like it's two people enabling each other here. CMC desperately wants to get out there. He desperately wants to be the best running back in the league. He desperately wants to contribute to the team. Kyle Shanahan desperately wants to use CMC all the fucking time. So you got two people enabling each other, so most likely CMC's going to keep being on the field. I'm not going to lie to you. Until one of them looks at each other in the face and says, hey, yeah, either CMC says, hey, I'm not doing very well. I'm not contributing enough, and I need to lay down my pride a little bit and just let Mason take over from here. Or Kyle Shanahan needs to be like, dude, you're just not doing it for the offense right now. We got to stick with Mason. Like, until one of that happens, and I don't think that's going to happen in a fucking million years, you're going to see nothing but CMC. You're going to see Kyle Shanahan use CMC until he sees the old CMC, which means he's not coming off the field, right? You may see Mason here and there. You may see Garendo here and there. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. I'm just being realistic here, guys. But yeah, Mason definitely needs to be out there. And we're going to watch a video with Larry Krueger right now in a minute, because I like what he had to say. He does preach about that, the Jordan Mason CMC situation, that I totally agree with him when he says that. Because John Lynch says something really weird, and Larry Krueger recalls him saying something that kind of contradicts what he says. But I'm digressing to what I want to say. Nobody, and I mean nobody, no 49ers fan on earth is going to look at CMC and be like, hey, man, why didn't you perform coming back from a bilateral Achilles tendonitis? Coming back week 10. Like, no one's going to look at you and be like, wow, man, you really should have came back from that. Wow, man, you know what, dude, you suck now. No, what's going to ruin your legacy, what's going to tear you down, is forcing yourself out there when you can't do it. That's going to hurt your legacy. That's going to hurt the team, right? So I think CMC just wants to be out there, wants to force the issue and get himself out, but he's not the same. And until we see the same CMC, we do need to mix in Mason. We do need to mix in Grindo. Because I tell you what, if CMC was out for the rest of the year, I don't think any 49ers fan would be like, well, fuck you, CMC. No, I don't think anyone would have been like that, right? We would have been upset, like, yeah, that sucks. The Madden curse is real, and it bums us out that he didn't come back, whatever, right? But outside of, like, criticizing him, we never would have done it. We'd not hold it against him. Now we're talking about how bad he looks. Now we're talking about how he shouldn't be out there. And that's what we're talking about now. And I do agree, if you were to mix in Mason and Grindo and put CMC out there, it would hide CMC a lot more. It would put the perspective, the optics on CMC as, okay, they're barely using him, trying to get him into the groove. He's not going to look the same, whatever. But if you're going to put him out there this many times, you're telling us as fans that he is ready. You're telling us as fans that he is good to go. And he's not. And he's not. So, yeah. Oh my God, I forgot to shut my window, dude. Oh my God, I've been yelling at my neighbors and shit. Hold on, right back. Oh my God, I'm right back. All right, back. Sorry. All right, so I'm back. I had my window open, so I've been like screaming out, pretty much out my window. So I made sure my neighbors got the 49ers news, guys. Okay, all right, we make sure everyone knows here. Okay. All right, we got some comments. Let's jump into that. Should we sit McCaffrey? One, they should be splitting the rushing attempts. Yeah, 110%. That's what I agree with that. Tribe in the house. The civil hater of the stream. Civil hater. One by that is like he hates, but he doesn't like cross the line, which I like. I think Williams could beat Campbell in a race. That's 110% true. That's a compliment to Trent Williams, but it's also a diss on Campbell. I like it. I like that. My grandma would beat Campbell in a race. Like, Campbell's slow, dude. Slow as shit. He needs to cut his hair. Something. He needs. Does he? And he wears way too many clothes. I think he needs to wear less. Pause. Right. This is a pause. But he needs to wear less clothes. All right. He needs to cut his hair. And he's somehow needs to get less burden on himself. That's what he needs. All right. He needs every millisecond of speed he could possibly get. Okay. He needs it. If Kyle starts Allen against Buffalo in the snow, if Purdy can't go, even though he's hurt and stands like a statue, I feel like that's a fireable offense, in my opinion. I don't think if Kyle Shanahan starts, well, I should look at it. It's bigger here. Hold on. If Kyle Shanahan starts Allen against Buffalo in the snow, if Purdy can't go, even though he's hurt and stands still like a statue, I feel like that's a fireable offense. Do you mean if he were to put Purdy out there anyway or put Allen out there? I'm a little baked right now. You guys can tell it's starting to kick in a little bit. But if you're talking about Allen, I mean, that's just what Allen is. Allen just stands in the pocket. He just does his fucking thing. That's just who he is. I don't expect him to run. All right. He's Kirk Cousins, man. He's just going to stand there in the pocket. To put Brown now out there. I think you need to put Purdy out there, and based on what I've heard, it sounds like he's going to play. So I don't think that's going to be a concern. But this is a must-win game. I mean, like, every game here is like a must-win game, but we got to steal one. And we got to steal one here with the Buffalo Bills. I hope we can. I think we can. I believe we can. But the expectation, obviously, is the Bills are going to beat the 49ers on Sunday night. That's just the expectation. And with that being said, we need to steal one because the Seattle Seahawks stole one from us. So now we got to go steal one from the Bills. It's possible. It can be done. And I feel like the only way that it can be done is if Brock Purdy is out there. Because I feel like if Brock Purdy was out there against that Packers game, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think we would have won. I could be like some Delulu shit happening in my head right now, but I think we could have won. I'm not going to lie to you. Like there was just moments where you're like, okay, Purdy would have done better here in this situation. Oh, Purdy would have got this ball off way sooner. Because there's multiple times where if I even said it in the game, if Brandon Allen did not hesitate, if there was a Brock Purdy anticipation out there, Brock Purdy would have thrown that ball multiple times, and we would have got multiple first downs that play. I think the game would have been different, way different. Will we have won, though? I think we probably could have. I'm not saying for sure, but I think there was a huge chance they would have, just by him being there. Imagine if Bosa was there as well. I just think that that game was – it could have been won. There was times, there's moments, there's momentum, and we could have won that game, right? And I think if having Brock Purdy back against the Buffalo Bills could be a difference maker, not as much to the Green Bay Packers, because I do think the Bills are better than the Packers, but it means that much where in that moment where we could take back this game or get back in that game, and we just need that much better of a quarterback, because that was the same situation that happened with the Packers. We just needed that much better of a quarterback in those situations where Brock Purdy is going to throw it to CMC before he makes that cut. And if that was going to happen, he would have got it for the first down in that game against the Packers. There was another one too. He's just way too late multiple times. So I do agree. Purdy needs to be out there 110%. And I do think Purdy is going to be out there this game. Bro is garbage. Yeah, I don't think as a backup quarterback, I don't think he played that bad, Brandon Allen. But that's what he is, though. He is a backup quarterback. I don't think we lost because of Brandon Allen, right? There was multiple situations where everything was getting a little weird, a lot of penalties. My God, the penalties was killing everything. I think for the most part, in parts of the game, he played really well. He obviously had some dud moments, but for a backup quarterback in that status, between 64 and 32, I don't think he played that bad. I was actually expecting a lot worse. I'm not lying to you. I was expecting a lot worse. And that could be a product of Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. If Purdy can't go, Dobbs would be the best option. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, put Dobbs out there. Okay, we need a little bit of rebel. We need a little break the pocket and run. Okay, we need a little more read option. Okay, because passing it between Dobbs and Allen is not the way to go, dog. It's not the way to go. Does Dobbs suck that bad that Kyle doesn't want to put him out over Allen? I think it's really just because, like I keep saying, I just feel like he's just a rebel. Brandon Allen sticks to the script. And Kyle without Purdy feels like he has to take on this offense to get it done. And since Brandon Allen will stick to the script, it's in Kyle's hands, if that makes sense, right? But if you put it in Dobbs' hands, who has the instinct of just breaking it and running, break down do the first read, go. But I mean, you kind of need a rebel player. You kind of need a player to do some unexpected things. You're going to need to do some read option. You got 3 running backs that can get it done. You got CMC. I don't know. We just bashed him. We got CMC. You got Mason, and you got Isaac Guerrero. I'd be using Dobbs for his read option alone. Use the read option on Dobbs with these running backs. I mean, you have a quadruple threat in the running game alone, right? You got a safety valve. Obviously, George Kittle's been the answer in the red zone. I mean, there's answers here. And I do think Brandon Allen sticks to the script like so Kyle could be in his hands. But there's another strategy here, and I do think just using Dobbs' running ability, just like how the Steelers are using Russell Wilson and Justin Fields right now. They're changing each other out. You should do the same thing with your backup quarterbacks because some people say if you have 2 quarterbacks, then you have none, right? Well, the 2 quarterbacks that are playing are backup quarterbacks, so they still don't equal to Brock Purdy. They're not going to compete with Brock Purdy. So in this situation, you can use Brandon Allen and Dobbs, just how the Steelers are doing successfully. There is a way, especially when the Steelers don't even have that good of running backs, right? I don't think Najee Harris is that good, to be honest with you guys. I really don't. Their other player, I can't remember who it is. He's actually not that bad. Their other running back. But what I'm trying to say is we have a 10-fold better running back than they do, right? And we have a discount wish Temu version of Justin Fields and Joshua Dobbs. I think you need to start running the ball. Start use a quadruple threat here. It's there, man. It's there. And because you and I have both seen it. Joshua Dobbs will take a hit. He will sacrifice his body to get a first down for every yard. You've seen it. So it's not like he's a little bitch and he's just going to slide because, he's going to go out there and be a running back. And you need to do it. You're so close to the end of the season. You need some wins. You desperately need to get a W. If Brock Purdy can't go, you should be using them both like the Steelers. I think 49ers run the ball with CMC. I don't. We just got talking about that. Please, your team beat the Buffalo Bills. I want KC Chiefs to see in the playoffs. Hey, man, we'll do the best we can. We'll do the best we can, brother. We'll do the best we can. Brock has no distribution moving the ball all year, so yeah, that would have been able to control the ball better and more score points. Yeah, it's better opportunities. 49ers have never scored less than 17 points in a game where Brock Purdy played. I know, that's incredible. That's actually incredible. And a lot of people don't. I've noticed that too, as no one's actually ever talked about it. I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Strawberry. I'm just saying, like, I've noticed it too. Like, I've made a couple of memes about it because, like, Dak Prescott would score like 10 points, 7 points, 3 points. You get nothing. While Brock Purdy, like you said, is scoring nothing but 17 points and plus. He did have one bad game against the Ravens, but I do think he would have scored a touchdown at some point, just like Sam Darnold did, if he kept playing, because technically he only scored 12 points there. Well, 10 because the safety. I don't mean to take away from Brock, but I'm just trying to be realistic. Brandon Allen follows the script, but the script has sucked. So I have to, exactly. Facts. Well, I agree with you on that. It's just not Kyle's season, and we need someone who can prove him like Dobbs and Purdy. Valnos! Won't agree. Test now much Brock and Purdy's been carrying the offense all year. He's fantastic, dude. Brock, it shows what Brock can do. It shows what that game against the Packers showed you exactly what you were missing from the quarterback position when Brock Purdy's not in there. You know exactly what you're missing out there. And it was apparent. Brock Purdy's playing weekend, or he's playing. He should be playing. It's just arm soreness, and apparently it feels great. But it's not a guarantee, but apparently great was the word. Offense still scored 19. True that. Bo, what up? All right. Let's do the one thing that I said that we're going to do because I agree with Larry Krueger. I'd say we're going to watch Larry Krueger. Okay, guys. Let me try to bring it up. Boom.
For the first time all year.
Right. Now, before we start the video, though, okay? All right. How long do you think his ads are going to go? Do you think it's going to cross the 1 minute and 10 second mark? Do you think it's going to cross the 1 minute mark? Do you think it's going to cross? Put your guesses in. Get your guesses in, guys. Get your guesses in. All right. I'm going to guess. I don't remember. I really don't remember how long it was. I've already seen this video, but I don't remember how long it was. I'm going to say 54 seconds. This chat is spitting truths and facts. No doubt. This chat is has some W takes. No lie. You're not wrong, Papa. You're not wrong. Some W takes up in here, dude. All right. Okay. So this is Larry Krueger talking about Deebo Samuel situation, CMC situation, and then I think there's another one he brought up. There's another thing he brings up. I know where it was, but there's this talk right now about Deebo Samuel not being the same player. I even said it in the game. A lot of you guys have said it as well, that Deebo Samuel hasn't been playing well. And there's actually a very interesting stat about Deebo that I want to show you guys after this video. And I think it's rather, you know what? I'll show you guys actually. I'll show you guys right now, actually. Hold on. I'll show you guys right now. I know I can't make up my mind. A piece of shit. I'm sorry. Under a minute. Papa J's got 1 minute and 5 seconds. I thought you were going to say before we go on the let's take on a big fat hit. No, I don't smoke anymore. I just do edibles. I do miss it though. I like it. I miss it a lot. All right. Here's that stat I was going to show you. That's right. So here is Deebo Samuel's all of his years. He's actually been in the year for. He's only been in the He's only been in the NFL for 6 years. I was actually shocked by that. I actually thought he was in there a lot longer. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that makes sense, obviously. But it seems to me he has a good year, bad year, good year, bad year, good year, bad year. He's having this on and off thing. 2019, 800 yards. Okay, obviously a rookie, not going to get that many yards. Still got to learn, get better as a wide receiver, whatever. Then he gets hurt, bad year, right? 2020, bad year for the 49ers in general. 2021 has his career year, 8 rushing touchdowns, 1,405 yards receiving, elite year. That's what the year he got paid. Okay. All right. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not saying he gets back to that. Like, not even close, dog. Like, not even close. Next year, absolute shit. Absolute dog water, dude. 632 yards, 13 games. What was it? 59.6% cash percentage. Like, absolute completion percentage. Absolute trash. Okay. 3 touchdowns. Next year, though, in 2023, he obviously wasn't the same. He was just playing. He had like 4 great games and then like mid to ass games in between all those games. So, and it equal to 892 yards. So he kind of replicated his rookie year a little bit, but just a tiny bit better. And that's not saying a lot for a player that you're paying $24 million, supposed to be the highest wide receiver you ever paid at the time. One thing I hate that people are saying is like that John Lynch ends up saying about Deebo is like, oh, everyone's just so used to Deebo playing elite that, you know, we're holding him to the standard. This is what he's pretty much saying. This is not verbatim. I'm paraphrasing here. It's just he sounds to me he's like making an excuse, like you're holding him to the standard, and it's like, hey man, after so many years, he's gonna come down. And it's like, yeah, it's his 6th year, right? And he's not actually taking that many big hits. And from what I've seen these last 2 years, no offense, and he's slowed down like significantly. He's never come close. He's never come close to that 2021 season. So it's not that we aren't like, we're used to this guy, so he just suddenly dropped off and he disappeared. It's like, no, he hasn't done anything close to 2021 in years. In 2022 and 2023, he's not the same, man. He's not the same. He's not the same this year. So, like, yeah, he had a better year in 2023, like an on and off. And we're on his off year where he's shit, right? But he hasn't gotten close to his 2021 season. In 2022, you don't have much of an excuse because you were still young. Not only are you still young, you didn't take that many hits yet. You were like, 26 years old at the time, just entering your prime. And you played like shit. And now you're replicating that same exact season pretty much, 60.7. Completion percentage. Yards gained, 551.1. Again, 2022 is absolutely atrocious when you're supposed to be entering your prime. We have not even the prime Deebo was at age 25, and then he became a running back wide receiver at that point. It's once he got paid, he never lived up to the contract. He never once lived up to that contract. He lived it in moments, like in the Eagles game, in a couple other games last year, but in this year, now it's just in spurts. You'll see it in just in play. You'll have one elite play, maybe one every 4 games this year. So he's had like 2. It's Deebo. There is no like, oh, he just disappeared. No, it's that he's never been here. He's been gone since 2021, man. So hopefully next year, I'm not expecting to do the same, but hopefully next year this trend keeps going, because that means next year he should play better than this. And he should be playing better than this in general, but that's just the trend I see. It seems like he goes all out one year, right? Struggles to recover the next year, but then recovers enough because he didn't actually try it really hard the previous year, and then he bursts again. So it sounds to me that he needs a year where he plays like shit, doesn't try as hard, just so that the next year he could play elite again. That's what it seems like to me. That's the trend that I see. Oh, God. He had one elite year, and that was that one contract. Exactly. It was 1 year, dude. So when John Lynch says, like, oh, we're so used to this, like, no, dude. We've just been complaining for 3 straight years, wondering where the fuck he's been. Like, we made the excuse for 2022 because we all know that once you get a contract, there is like a 50-50 chance that player is going to play like shit that year. Right? They get money. They go out and do things. Don't stick to the same routine. Their priorities become different in their head, right? They made the bag. They don't need to try as hard. They're done, right? They made it. So like you understand that. But then in 2023, you expect more. That didn't happen. This year you expect, like, okay, well, maybe this year, right? No, man. He was bad in the Super Bowl. The dude cannot get open to save his fucking life, and he cannot catch a ball that hits him right in. Why? Tell me why. Is Deebo catching a ball like this and not like this? I shit you not. Poor hand-eye coordination. Poor fucking. Who is catching a ball like this? How big do you think the football is? Like, oh my Lord. Like, I don't understand. It's like he forgot he wasn't this bad at catching the football. I didn't think he was that great in the first place, but he's digressed so much. He's Ronnie Bell, dude. He's Ronnie Bell bad. Guys, Deebo is Ronnie Bell bad. I mean, okay, some people want to argue, yeah, Deebo could have got hit by that safety. I'm telling you right now, if that safety wanted to hit Deebo, he could have done it because the ball contact with his hands. He had every excuse to hit him. You know what the defender decided to do instead? He tried knocking the ball out. So if Deebo just had some hands, and some balls, he would have caught that ball and possibly would have got more yards. I'm not lying. What was it? I think the safety was coming down this way, right? And if the safety was trying to play the ball, if he caught that and got away from that safety going for the ball, not him, he would have got a lot more yards. He could have done a caught twirl. If he did like a catch twirl, he would have had something. It's just, he's not the same. He's never been the same. And like, I don't even expect him to, no one even expected him to become a wide receiver in 2023. We all understood in 2023, hey, he's not going to do elite catching. He's not a one-handed catcher type guy. He's not a 50-50 guy, right? He's a perfect ball placement. He's a yak guy. But not only has his yak ability deteriorated completely, his ability to catch the ball has deteriorated significantly. And the one thing that really upsets me the most is this hype that everyone was trying to give Deebo in the offseason. Oh, Deebo's doing this. Oh, Deebo's doing that. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are hyping me up. I'm expecting a pretty big Deebo season. No, we got this product who's worse than Deebo last year, when Deebo last year is supposed to be in worse shape than this Deebo. This Deebo is the Deebo that tried in training camp. This is the Deebo that tried in minicamp, right? This is the Deebo that gave it his all in preseason and training camp, whatever. This is his product now? You're telling me this is the best that Deebo can put out there? Because that's what you're telling me. If you're telling me he had the best training camp, his best offseason ever, really putting all that effort in, because that's what people were saying, setting that expectation. You're telling me this is his best? The dude is washed then. If this is him, if you're telling me this is his best, oh my God, dude, like, how do you? And then to fucking have the balls and to feel like you have the right to go up to Jake Moody and be like, hey, man, get this going, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck, dude? When you're not even contributing yourself, you're not doing shit. When we need you the most, you do not show up. When Brock Purdy is relying on you, putting his career in your hands, you fucking drop the ball every single time. Every time. So tired of Deebo. I know people love him, but deal with it. He's not the same. Changing the number. Oh my God, all of it, dude. A podcast. Oh my God, dude. All of it. All of it is just annoying. Like, you were such a good player. You were so fucking good in 2021, man. You were so good. It took 1 year for people to fall in love with you forever because they're putting up with the 3 years of bullshit. It's just crazy, dude. All right, let's jump into the. I gotta breathe for a second. I need to drink some water. Hold on. Sorry. I just went on a rant. I don't even know what I said. I just went on a rant. I don't even know what I said. I just went on a rant. So if you guys disagree with something, feel free to let me know. But yeah, I blacked out there. I blacked out. All right, so let's go ahead and watch some John Lynch. Not John Lynch, but Larry Krueger talk about some stuff. All right. Here we go. Show this tab.
Niner video. John Lynch spoke today on KMBR. What did he say? We will talk about it next. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And this video is also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports.
He didn't talk about the brisket chili. What the fuck, man? Where's the brisket chili? They're taking our season away from us. And now Larry Krueger is not going to talk about the brisket chili. Fuck this year, dude.
Sports cards and collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California on the Monterey Peninsula. Call my friend Anthony Catania at 831-521-5264. All right. John Lynch did his normal Friday hit on a Wednesday because of the Thanksgiving holiday. And, of course, the conversation started with the Packer game.
Whoa, dude. Okay. All right. Props to Larry, man. Shout out to Larry for really cutting down the ads, man. That's a game changer.
Normal Friday hit on a Wednesday because of the Thanksgiving holiday. And, of course, the conversation started with the Packer game. John, what did you think of the Packer game? And he said, hey, we took a good hard look at the game. We need to file it away, use it as fuel. But in this league, you got to move forward. You got to move forward to Buffalo, but you can't forget what just happened in Green Bay. He was asked about the mood. He said, we were embarrassed. That's not who we are. But the reality is that is who they are.
Do you guys feel embarrassed? Do you agree with this? I don't really feel embarrassed. I know a lot of people do, but I don't feel embarrassed. I feel totally justified in relying on not having our quarterback, not having Bosa. Just it's a perfect situation for the Green Bay Packers to obliterate us. So some people are feeling embarrassed. I mean, if you're around a bunch of Packers fans, I guess I can see how that can get annoying. But I wouldn't say embarrassed is the word because I don't feel embarrassed that we lost. I expected this to happen. I expected an ass whooping. It just makes sense, like logically. So I don't feel embarrassed, but if you guys do, I can see where people come
from. He says we didn't tackle well enough on defense. There were too many careless penalties that hurt us. We didn't show up, and we have to do something about it. So I'll agree with that. We didn't show up, and they have to just do something about it. I'll agree with the careless penalties, and I'll agree with they didn't tackle well. But that's not who we are. That's not who you want to be. But that absolutely is who you are. The way they played, the way you play the day you play is who you are as a football team. And that's
the day you play is who you are as a football team. Why do I disagree with that? Like, maybe he's implying like, okay, I kind of get what he's saying, but I feel like sometimes who you are, you don't necessarily always put out in the field a week. But I guess that is how you're criticized that week as that player, as that team. You'd be like, oh, you played like shit. So that's who you are. You were a shit team that week. So I guess maybe I'm just being combative. I don't know. But I just thought that was a weird saying.
That's who they are.
Oh yeah, and then by the way, when he first started off with "That's who you are," like he said it with like such like vibe. I can't think of the word. I'll just say force. He says it with so much force, like that's who they are.
They don't want to be that. That's not what they set out to be, but that's who they are. He was asked about the lack of, why all the bad tackling. And he said, Josh Jacobs is a tough back. But he's like, we have to fix it. We got to get more hats on the running back. You got to get more guys arriving at the ball.
Yep.
So many times it's one guy there and he's trying to do it all by himself and nobody's coming to his aid. So you can't play hero ball. Everybody can't do it themselves. It takes teamwork. They're going to have to put lots of hats on the Buffalo running backs starting this week if they're going to bring those guys to the ground. Jacobs made them look bad, really bad. And we'll see how they react coming out of it. He was asked about CMC and what's wrong with CMC. It doesn't look very good. Is he ramping up? And John pushed back on that notion that he's ramping up. He said, we didn't have a lot of offensive possessions. He's like, it's a team effort. He can't do it himself. He needs his line, kind of suggesting that the line didn't open holes. This is the same line that John a week ago said was really underrated and doing very well. Maybe he's changing his tune on that now because he didn't want to blame CMC. Now, has Christian lost a step? I don't know. He's not getting the same results. To me, he looks like he's in the same condition. He looks like the same player, but he's not getting the same results.
Did he just say that he looks like this? I apparently didn't watch this video well enough. Did he just say that CMC looks the same? He's just not getting the results? Or is he saying that John Lynch is saying that? Did I miss that? Because I'm sorry, he does not look the same. Like, even with this line, you see holes, but where's the burst? I don't think it's the same. And I just marked my nose. All right.
So is he rusty? Is he ramping up? Is it the bad O-line? Is it the lack of a passing game? Is it the backup quarterback? I mean, what's going on? All we can say is that CMC doesn't look good right now. But John pushed back and said, my eyes tell me that Christian is in a good spot physically. So he expects this McCaffrey thing to turn around, which is problematic. Why? Because it's just going to further embolden Shanahan and this organization to not play Jordan Mason, who's averaging 5 yards a carry, and Isaac Correndo is averaging 6 yards a carry for Christian McCaffrey, who's averaging 3 yards a carry. So that's not a good thing. So it sounds like they're either delusional or they really think that McCaffrey is back and it's about everybody else but Christian, right? It's not about Christian. It's about the line. But you just told us last week the line's doing great. So I'm confused. But all I can say is it sounds like get ready for more Christian and only Christian against the Buffalo Bills. And that's.
Yep. So pretty much what I was saying is it's going to be you got two parties enabling each other, so you know what's going to happen. And just based on the response alone, Larry Krueger obviously agrees as well that they're going to play CMC quite a bit. If they're saying that CMC is just fine, and now it's the offensive line, or like last week the offensive line played great, it sounds to me they're going to make excuses no matter what. Like obviously even if they contradict each other, every week they're going to say something so that he can stay out there and keep playing. So, which again, coming back to the Jordan Mason thing, I feel bad for him, man. He was having a stellar year, and now CMC's coming back, taking away his 1,000-yard rushing. And I just wish CMC can just say, hey, man, I'm not the same. Let's use both. I wish Kyle could be like, hey, let's just use you. Like someone needs to step in and be like, because it's apparent. It's obvious. It's not like there's some objectiveness to it. You know what I mean? It's not like you can be like, no, CMC is actually fantastic, and it really is the O-line. You can see it, man. I haven't seen a single person tell me that CMC looks fantastic, looks the same. Now, it's not one person has told me that. And it's apparent that he's not the same. And I understand that you want to bring him back. I get that. If you want to work him in, get his legs going because he might one day get back, fine. But it's not happening. 3 straight games of forcing the issue is not happening. That's a lot of reps, man. That is a lot of reps. I don't mind him in the passing game because clearly he's making plays in the passing game. He is doing that. But in the running game, man, he's not doing it. He's not doing it, dude. And it's apparent. Everyone can see it. And I just feel bad for Mason because he deserves this opportunity, and you're doing it in vain. You're sacrificing something from his career, which helps the team. He helps the team. So that CMC can be out there while it's like you're sacrificing it and it's going in vain. Like all of it is it's gonna mean nothing. So if you're going to do this with CMC, it needs to mean something. It needs to mean that CMC's back and that he can perform. If not, you're fucking over Jordan Mason and you're fucking over the fans. If they ask Kyle about this, he's probably going to say, what do you mean McCaffrey's a hell of a player? Yeah, he's just going to be like something like, you don't hold back an elite player like that, etc. There are circumstances in which you do. And in this circumstances, hey, guess what? You got one. You got a circumstance. And I have not heard a single 49ers fan. I know that 49ers fans or fans in general are just couch coaches, couch GMs, etc. I get that. But when there's like a overwhelming consensus, right? You would think that the coach or the running back or the GM, somebody would step in and be like, this is obvious and let's just not do this anymore. Like it's just somebody needs to step in. And the only people that can step in that would stop this, I don't think John Lynch can make it happen. I don't think even the owner could be like, hey, I need you to do this. It's really between McCaffrey and Kyle. One of them has to stop enabling each other. I'm telling you. All right, let's finish this video.
It's not the right answer. Trent Williams came up and John said, hey, Jalen Moore played a really good game. And there's no question. Jalen Moore was the highest rated PFF offensive lineman in this game. But, John also came back, 1 week after he said the line was playing well. He says, we can play better on the O-line and we need to play better on the O-line. So what is it? Are they playing well or do they need to play better? Are they doing it?
Well, it's probably like this way. They're probably playing well considering the expectations for the offensive line, considering how shitty they are, right? They're exceeding the expectations of complete shit. So they're like a polished shit in this scenario. So that's probably where he's coming from. Like, hey, they're actually playing pretty well. They're actually expecting a lot worse. Not gonna lie.
A great job, or do they need to be called on the carpet? Should they go with the 5 guys they have, or should they make replacements and changes? I don't know. I would bench Brendel. I've seen enough. I'd go with Drake Nugent or Nick Sakel at center or Ben Barch. The rest of the way, I've seen enough of
spitting hot fire, man.
Brendel as a pass protector.
That's actually dope. I actually like that. I like that idea. It's kind of like what we've been saying. Like, hey, get the rookies out there, man. Get those development players. Get some reps, man. You might as well. I mean, like I keep saying, if you're last in something, you might as well try something different. Because the worst you can do is be last. So it's the same thing. So you might as well try something different. Brendel is that bad. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident. I haven't even checked. I don't even know. He's the worst center in the NFL. Okay. I think he had like one good game. I don't remember what it was, but there was like a good game where someone was like, oh my God, Brendel was actually pretty good. But outside of that, he's ass, man. He's terrible. You might as well put Zakel out there. You might as well put Drake Nugent out there. Like, because the only way is up for those players. You know what I mean? So I agree.
He was asked about Deebo Samuel, and this is another delusional answer, I thought. Okay, so how's Deebo looking, John? Everybody thinks Deebo looks a lot slower. Last year against Philly, at this time, he looked fast. This year, he doesn't look that fast. And
he looked fast for one fucking game. All right, he did not look. I know. This is not me going at Larry Krueger. This is just what people do say. They do say like Eagles game. Oh, last year's like they because he played elite one game. Everyone's looking at Deebo as if he had an elite year last year. He didn't. Okay. And it's like, I saw it too. And I was like, okay, there's just some games he just bursts out and becomes that elite Deebo that we're used to seeing. And in that game, he happened to be that guy. You know?
He's like, well, people have high expectations for Deebo. Okay. Then he said, hey, he had that 87-yard kickoff return that was negated by a holding call on Eric Saubert, which John also said was a bad call.
That's a bad call.
He's like, that's the Deebo we need. That's the Deebo we expect.
Well, so he's saying that's the Deebo we need. You need a $24 million kick returner. You need a $24 million punt returner. That's the Deebo we need. There's one thing I know about Deebo. He's always been good at kick returns and punt returns. That I do him credit for. But for $24 million, man, I'll do a gesture. We're probably going to be kicked off YouTube.
Let's talk about it. What do we see there that we're not seeing from scrimmage? In a kickoff situation, you get 3 or 4 steps to ramp up. And now you're getting to, get to top speed. Well, nobody wants to tackle Deebo at top speed. From scrimmage.
What do you expect, though? It's not like Lynch is going to shit on the players. Would you really want the GM to do that? It's not that. It's just, how to put this? I understand where you're coming from. You don't want to shit on the players. That's part of your team. But when you're presenting a plate of food to a fan who sees the obvious, and you're pushing propaganda essentially here, it's going to taste like shit, right? And so it's not necessarily like John Lynch is not doing his job, but you're also putting it out there by saying it's okay for him to come up with absolute bullshit as an excuse. You know what I mean? So it's like your job is to navigate this. Your job is to tell us the truth without telling us the truth all the time. It's just like, what are you feeding us? And you're feeding us nonsense. You're feeding us things that we obviously see. You know what I mean? Like, we see certain things. It is your job to tell us the truth, but without screwing over your the players. So I do get it like that, but that's his job, right? And his job is in these situations. It's to not tell us something that we clearly can disagree with. We can clearly be like, what do you mean? This is not happening. What do you mean? It's kind of like when Jerry Jones talks or something like that. Like, you don't expect him to shit on the players or whatever. He's going to talk them up. He's talking up Mike McCarthy right now. What do you want to do? Just shit on Mike McCarthy? No, but we obviously see that Mike McCarthy is complete fucking ass, and you can't hide it. But Jerry Jones keeps feeding that, oh, Mike McCarthy's a Super Bowl winning contender coach, blah, 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 blah. Just how I look at it. But if you more props to you, though, and I do mean this, and I don't mean this in a sarcastic, and I don't mean this as a belittle thing. I do truly mean this. More power to you if you take what he says and you completely understand where his job is coming from. Because that is a real understanding. That's putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And in his shoes, yes, he's supposed to do this, right? But as a fan, who I am right now, as a fan, I look at that and it's like, dude, you need to say something better than that. And that's not, and what he said to me was not a justification for me. Like, yeah, I understand where he's coming from, but you need to say something different, man. Like, that's your job. So, but if you understand where he's coming from and you're okay with it, that's more power to you, man. More power to you. Jake Brendel is single-handedly not only the worst player on the team, but one of the worst starters in the NFL. Spitting hot fire one. I fucking hate. Hate's pretty bad. I take that back. I hate. I do not hate Brendel. I just despise him at the center position. So, $24 million punt returner, no doubt. I just think fans are frustrated, and so the coaching staff doesn't validate the feelings they get upset. His job isn't to shit on players or coaches either. Do we have to disagree? No, but his job is to tell us the truth without telling us the truth. His job is to not tell us things that we obviously know is not true. Because why are we listening to you then? Why are you even out here talking? Because you're not feeding us anything. You're only giving us something to disagree with. It's his job. that is his job. His job is to go on press conferences, is to go on a live and tell us the truth without telling us the truth all the time. His job is to tell us something positive about the player, but not feed us bullshit. Things that we obviously see as fans. Like anyone can see it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's very Jerry Jones-esque. And if you can't think of something, if you don't know how to navigate that, then hire somebody who can. Hire somebody to tell you what to say. Because all it's going to do is, for people who don't know how to put themselves in the GM shoes, it's going to frustrate them and the fan base. And then you got people like Grant Cohn pushing a narrative. See what I mean? His job is to tell us the truth, something that we can digest and move on. If not, you're just going to get all this negative press. You're going to get all this negative pushback.
As a runner or as a receiver on short routes, he's not getting to top speed. He's not tackled when he's running full speed. When he's running full speed, nobody's tackling him for the most part. That's what you saw on the kickoff return. The problem is he can't get to top speed now without 4 or 5 steps, and he's tackled before that 5th step. So his quickness and agility as a runner, as a receiver, his what we call short area quickness, has departed. I mean, he's no longer has that short area quickness. Now he's got build-up speed. He's got gather speed. He's got the kind of speed that when you have a lot of mass and you get it rolling, you start to have build-up speed. That's what Deebo has now. So, yeah, maybe run him on some deeper routes. Maybe use him as a return.
I kind of always thought, I don't think he's had that burst or that short end speed for a while now. To be honest, probably since 2021. I mean, I don't think he's ever had that short range speeds that Larry Krueger was talking about. I don't think Deebo's ever really had that since 2021. All right, when like this pace, it's gotten worse, if anything, but it's making it sound like as if he had it last year or something. And I don't think he's really had that burst, that short range burst, in quite a while. I think he's been needing to rev up for a while now.
Turn man. Maybe make sure that he's got, if you're going to hand it to him as a runner, that he's got a runway, 3-4 steps. The best plays Deebo's had as a runner in the past have been when they're running it, east-west, and he's getting it on the last leg as part of misdirection. Everybody's flowing left, and here comes Deebo right. And what happens in that situation? He gets 2, 3, 4, 5 steps cooking. And then he's hard to bring down.
It's true.
When are you seeing him brought
on that punt return, man? I think he got tackled and then he handled it really well as if his feet were on wheels. It was actually quite impressive. Oh my God. But he's a fucking $24 million punt kick return. That's just crazy to me, dude. That's just wild to me. Larry's spitting hot fire here, guys. This is an incredible video. He did a very good job. Really great analysis. This is a really good video. It's true. If he revs up, man, he gets things going. He does things once he gets revved up, man. And you saw in that punt return, dude. No one was stopping him. Once he saw that hole, dude, you knew he was going to go far. If he had better speed, though, man, he would have took that shit to the house. If that was old Deebo, that would have been a touchdown. Obviously, a touchdown taken back, but it shouldn't have. I don't think that. I do think Salbert made a legit block. You know what I mean? So that's kind of bullshit I take away. But yeah. He's a really good kick return or punt return, man. Give him that speed. Give him that time to rev up.
Down as a runner now, well, he's being brought down parallel to the line of scrimmage. He's not getting that. He's not turning upfield. He's not getting that powerful, explosive gait going. So to me, it's all about he doesn't have first step quickness anymore. He can't get it going in 2 or 3 steps. So you got to ramp him up. So that means you got to get him on some spots where either he has the ability to run 3 or 4 steps with the ball, or get him more down the field where he can start to run down the field, or use him more on kick returns and punts where he's got ramp up speed possibilities. But Once again, John loves Deebo, and they love Deebo, and they push back on any idea that Deebo is not exactly the player that he used to be, and he clearly is not that player anymore.
I don't know enough about, I haven't seen enough videos, or I don't really know the real relationship between John Lynch and some of these players, but you can tell that it's almost as if the vibe, they get offended if you think Christian McCaffrey's not playing that good. They get offended, like Cruz said, if you don't think Deebo's playing good, or Kittle, or anybody. It's almost as if they take it personal on a whole nother level. The only problem is when they take it personal, they don't get better, which is weird to me. But I digress. I just think they need to lay down their pride and realize their players are getting a little bit older. They're a little bit more banged up. All right. And if, be realistic here, guys. Okay.
He was asked about Dre Greenlaw.
End of the day, it's a football team.
Dre had his practice window opened today or this week, and he'll be on the practice field on Wednesday for the first time all year. And, this is a player they miss so bad. He tore the Achilles in February. It's a medical miracle that he's back right now. Probably won't be back for the Buffalo game, maybe the Chicago game. It might even be the week after that. But the good news is Greenlaw's getting back. And, man, they need this player because they miss him in the worst way. He was asked about Brandon Allen. And he was asked about Brandon Allen playing over Josh Dobbs in that decision. And he said basically what I've said all last week, that there was no decision to be made. This was a decision that was made back in training camp. Shanahan decided in training camp that Brandon Allen was better than Josh Dobbs, and that's not going to change because nobody's played. So John said hopefully Brock returns for the Buffalo game. He said that Brandon Allen did some good things in Green Bay. And he said nobody's disappointed in Josh Dobbs, but they're going with Brandon Allen. So nothing has really changed on that front. Allen will go if Purdy can't go.
Yeah. So to all you who's looking for some Dobbs shows, it's not happening.
He was asked about the Niners' defensive line depth and how the only guys starters from the Green Bay playoff win on defense from last year was Demo and Fred Warner. And he's like, D-line depth is an issue. He said, we need to be better.
Oh, wow.
He added that Leonard Floyd, Jordan Elliott, and Malik Collins, were nice additions to the D.
I think we'll get out of this video, but I know that. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Let's get out of the video. All right, so we looked at the Deebo stats and stuff. We talked about Brock Purdy. We talked about the injuries. Brock Purdy should be coming back. Greenlaw potentially coming back. Larry Krueger, like you said, probably won't come back till next week. I thought the same thing. But hopefully he can play, man. That'd be great. But, obviously he gets feet under him and probably needs a little bit more practice reps and stuff. It is a 21-day window since he's off IR. This is what they expect to do on Wednesday, so tomorrow. So look forward to that. Yeah, man. I mean, final thoughts really about this. I guess final thoughts really about the Packers loss. I thought that there were some opportunities to win that game, and that if we just had a couple pieces back from injury, we actually could have won that game. I truly believe that. I think we could have actually been in it. Moments where Brandon Allen just didn't step up in time, and Brock Purdy with his anticipation made it work. So it was a game I feel like that got away from us because we shot ourselves in the foot. I was actually very surprised how there were so many opportunities between the second and third quarter between the first and fourth quarter, second and third quarter. There were opportunities for us to get back in the game, for it to be 17-14, right? There was opportunities for it to be 17-10, then 17-17. Like there's so many opportunities that we missed there, and I feel like everyone played a role, from penalties, quarterback play, CMC not stepping up as good, Kyle Shanahan doing some weird schemes here and there. When you had all the momentum with you running the ball, it was working perfectly, and then you got away from it for some reason. Everyone's just getting in their way collectively to not make it happen. The Packers, theoretically, from what I saw, were trying to give that game away. Jordan Love didn't play that great. Josh Jacobs, he played fantastic, but towards the end he got hurt, which was a good opportunity to take advantage of that, and we almost did. We were just a couple pieces away from that game. So it's just, maybe we can go into the Bills game if we get Brock Purdy back, maybe even Trent Williams, and the offense can play a little bit better, and the Bills can come into this game and it ends up being a trap game for them. There's still a potential to beat the Bills, right? And we'll talk more about it later in Thursday and then possibly Friday or Saturday. And we'll talk more about, obviously, the Wolfie Poggy show every Sunday before all the Sunday games at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We'll talk about more about that later on. But as for the Packers loss, it's just, I see a path. I saw a path. I saw a win against the Packers. And it was just like, I don't know if it was just because I was trying to force the issue in my mind, like, hey, we can win this. Hey, this can happen. This can happen. But I swear to God, there was times we could have made it happen. That bad play call, that bad penalty call on Sauber when he blocked the player on the punt, on the kick return, that was terrible. That cost 49ers a lot. That could have been a huge swing for the 49ers. And that's what I mean. Like, there was just too many of those like moments where it was a holding call, bullshit call anyway, but that the quarterback didn't quite do it, or we could have made, like, there's just moments that just, ruined everything. In order to survive, I think we need to win at least 4 or 5 of the next 9 games. It's going to be extremely difficult. If we go 9-8, we might win the division, but we're going to have to rely on our division opponents. Exactly. A lot of things are going to be outside of our control that we're hopefully Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks can all choke from here on out, because it is a tight race, theoretically. The playoffs is no longer talking about first seed, obviously, and second seed, whatever, third. Obviously, it's going to be the 4th seed. That's what we're looking at. 4th or 7th seed, 1 or 2. Most likely going to be the 4th seed, because we're going to be probably be the weakest division, and probably going to be a 9-8. You're probably right, 9-8 might do it, but I think more 10-7 might do it. And you are right. If the Cardinals start choking and if the Seahawks start choking, it changes the goalpost. But as of right now, it's more of a 10-7 kind of team. And you are right. We're going to be a steal game. And the only games I feel like we would lose for sure that we need to steal is Bills or Lions. And I feel a lot more comfortable that we're stealing a game from Bills than Lions. I'll tell you what, to go 10-7. 9-8 might do it. 9-8 might do it. You're not wrong. But 10-7 is how I look at it. Going on, we might win the division. We need all AI officiating. 6 games. You said 9. So we need AI officiating. Here's the thing. Like, I don't mind that, but I know I'm not. I don't mind it, but there would still be a complaint that there's cheating. There would still be like a complaint. Oh, that's technically. They changed it. They just said that AI said this, etc. There'll still be a complaint of cheating, I feel like. Just because they feel like, oh, they're controlling the algorithm. So they'll say, hey, we need this to happen. So AI is going to tell people, hey, this happened. Is there a 60% chance that people will look at this as a catch or not? And then they'll be like, oh, well, if only 60% of people believe that, we can kind of get away with a bad call. So let's go ahead and call this. It's possible to still rig the game potentially. But I do like the idea of I know I just said all that shit, but I don't mind it because I feel like you could say it for both things. You can say it for the refs, you could say it for the AI. So, but I think AI would make it move faster. I think it would make the game go by faster. And also hopefully maybe it's something different, and maybe it might be a better outcome than the human eye, but it's very possible. What's really weird is I wouldn't be surprised that they already have that kind of technology, just because from what I've seen from next gen stats and what we know of AI already, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have that technology already to go. Because all you really have to do, based on from what I've seen for technology these days, especially a billion dollar company, I could totally see them having a device where they know where the football is at all times, right? So they know if it's a first down or not. Like, just considering they can check all the crap that's happening on the game already, I wouldn't be surprised if that technology is already available to them. And I don't think they ever want to take away the human aspect of the game, though. I don't think they ever want to take that away. But I do think at some point there's going to be a lot of people saying, hey, let's get AI involved, where they might try it at some point and see how it goes. But as of right now, I don't think they're going to take away the human element. There'll always be something. I'd prefer AI over human because they're in both, but one has bias and the other one has The other one does. Yeah, like it's one's taking more percentage of like consensus. I don't even know if that's how the algorithm would work, but like if you wanted to rig a game, you would want to know like what's the percentage of this actually being a catch, or like what's the percentage of, is this actually a false start, etc. Is this actually a first down? Would people believe this, etc. Like, so you'd still have like more of a consensus. So you might have more favoritism in that way, but I can't imagine it's by that much. But I do feel like the NFL argues that they like the human aspect of the game. Because I do see some players preach about that, how much they love the human aspect of it. But I don't know. I don't play, so it works. I'm open to both ideas. I don't care. I'm totally open to both. If you want to stick with breath, that's fine. If you want to do AI, that's great too. I don't think it's going to change the game regardless. Cardinals have an easy ass schedule. Their outer main opponent is going to be the win division. Let's look at the Cardinals schedule. I know that Poggy on Sunday went through it. By the way, guys, this is a very long live. Holy shit, how long is this live? 1 minute 25 seconds. We'll look at the schedule of Cardinals real quick, and then we'll bounce. Start to lose my voice. So you guys can hear it. Let's look at Arizona Cardinals. All right, so the Cardinals play the Vikings. That's a loss. Okay. It's not that easy. Hey guys, it's not that easy. I see 3 losses. I see 4 losses. I see 4 losses on this pop potentially right here against the Vikings. Cardinals versus Vikings. That's potential, dude. That's potential. I think the Vikings defense is better than the Seahawks defense. Seattle Seahawks could beat them again, right? And then obviously I think they're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to beat the Panthers. Even though the Panthers might do it, you never know. They almost beat the Chiefs. You never know. The Rams, they could lose the Rams. I know the Rams stomped them, but times change. Scheme. McVay's a mastermind, and one game to another is not always the same. So we'll see how that goes. They could lose against the Rams, and they could lose to us depending upon the situation. So I see 4 potential losses, potentially even 5. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think we might. I think we get a lot of credit to the Cardinals here. I think we Ryan in the house. I think we should just let Brandon Allen get some reps the rest of the season and let the second string go out and see who's good. No using our first string getting hurt. I disagree. With that. I think we need to get our quarterback going. He needs to win this game. We're still in the playoff hunt, and I don't. There's you get absolutely no benefit of Brandon Allen playing. So if you're trying to win games, you're still trying to win it. You're still in the division. It's not like you're out of the playoff contention. It's not like you're out of the division or anything. If that was the case, I would see what you're saying. Like, don't rush them back. Don't want to get a worse injury. But we're still in it. We're still in it to win it. I see NFC West division as being in a Mexican standoff. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like what? 6-5, 6-5, 5-6, 5-6. There's a window. I think the Cardinals can lose some games. What the Seahawks got? What does the Seahawks roster look like? Seahawks at Jets. That's a W for the Seahawks. Again, the Cardinals-Seahawks game, that's up there. Seahawks could lose to the Packers, could lose to the Vikings. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, guys. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 potential losses here for the Seahawks. What about the Rams? Rams still got the Bills. That's a loss. They still they play us. Jets, Cardinals. Yeah, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 potential losses for the Rams. I don't know, guys. I think there's actually, I didn't think about this. I'm more confident than ever. That's actually crazy. I'm more confident than I was before finding this out. I actually think there's a few losses here, guys. I don't know. They're just, all these teams are just now playing their division games, and division games are different. They truly are. They're different beasts, and I see a window, man. I'm confident. All right, I feel a little bit better. I was feeling a little bit like, oh my God, we have quite the hill to climb, but I'm feeling pretty good. Those opponents are nothing to shake at, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. They lose division games. They can lose to the Bills. They still have to play the Bills. All right, we can still win the We win the division, guys. I'm good. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and we could beat the Cardinals and Rams in a rematch. Exactly. We can still split. Like technically, we would have beat them if the defense has figured it out, right? In the second half, I think the defense played better outside the tackles. Obviously, that was atrocious, right? But against the Rams and Cardinals, if they had it all figured out, we would have won that game, and the record would be completely different, right? So, and division games again are different. They're different beasts. One game is not the same as the other, especially in the division. So, we just got to win our matches against the Cardinals and Rams. We get those two. Those are important. Those are the big games. We can even lose to the Bills, but win against the Bears, Dolphins, and I think we still play the Cardinals and Rams. So that's 4 W's right there. So we can go 9-8. So whoever said 9-8, that actually might. I see a 9-8. 9-8 might do it. 9-8 might do it, guys. I'm not lying. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jay Valhalla, no doubt, man. That was a good way of putting it. Right there we go. All right, guys. I'm going to go and bounce. This was a great show. Hour and 30 minutes, dude. Hour and 30, second longest show we've ever done here. And it couldn't have been possible without you guys. You guys are so fucking awesome. I truly mean that. You guys make this channel what it is. It's so fucking dope, man. Love the conversations we have. Love the disagreements we have. I love the learning together stuff aspect of it, man. It's super dope. This is I have a great time doing this. Truly. And for those who like the all-team series I do, I'm going to start that tonight. And it looks like it's going to be the Bengals. A lot of people voted for the Bengals. I'll double-check the voting, but it looks like I will be doing the Bengals. And, by the way, I don't think the Bengals running back is on that filter. This is for those who pay attention to this. The running back is not on that filter, so I might have to use Joe Mixon for that filter. So if you guys see that, there's going to be some people commenting, hey, that Joe Mixon's not on the Bengals. I know that. But it's the only running back I could use for the filter. Just letting you guys know. All right. Thank you to Papa J. OG as always, man. Always count on you, man. Vahalo, of course. Awesome. Good to see you too. Ryan, you kind of came in late, but hey, you're still a good guy, man. Thank you so much for commenting. Supporting the channel. Hope you're sub, dude. That'd be dope. Juan, good to see you, man. Becoming an OG. I think I'm going to start calling you OG. Dope, man. Love your opinion. Strawberry. Agree, disagree, man. We had a great conversation, man. You're a good dude. Thank you so much. Val, always good to see you. Very consistent. Who else do we got up in here? There's someone else. Tyler Helton, of course. Good to see you, man. Best Chiefs fan I know. As always, Tribe, got to come up in here and say hi. Appreciate it, supporting the channel. And then 49ers Sports, you're awesome too, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution. Landon, of course. And then Joshua Lilly. Good to see you. And that's it. You guys are awesome. To everybody who watches this live later. Well, I guess it's no longer live, so I guess if you watch this episode later, sub if you haven't subbed already. I go live all the time. I make videos every single day, just about. Pretty consistent. I try to be the best I can. And if you don't like my other shit, but you love this live a lot, it was very informative. You had a great conversation. There was something different about it. Had a quick different kind of vibe. Hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Truly. Makes this channel grow. Makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video.